The 2026 Iran-US war, which erupted in late February, represents the most significant shift in the Middle Eastern geopolitical order in over half a century. What began as a decapitation strike intended to neutralize a nuclear threat has transformed into a high-stakes war of attrition that has claimed thousands of lives, toppled a theocracy's top leadership, and pushed the global economy to the brink of a systemic energy crisis. The prelude, a failed diplomacy and internal unrest. The road to war was paved with the collapse of international trust. Following the failure of the 2025 Omani-mediated nuclear negotiations, tensions reached a breaking point in early 2026. The Trump administration and the Israeli government concluded that Tehran had used diplomatic delays to mask a final breakout toward a nuclear weapon. Simultaneously, the Islamic Republic was facing its most existential internal threat since 1979. In January 2026, massive anti-government protests, fueled by a currency collapse and infrastructure failures, were met with brutal force by the IRGC. The United States cited these human rights violations, alongside intelligence of an imminent Iranian drone strike against the American homeland, as the moral and strategic justifications for military intervention. February 28, 2026, the opening salvo. The conflict officially began mid-morning on February 28, 2026, with the launch of Operation Epic Fury, USA, and Operation Roaring Lion, Israel. In a display of overwhelming force, nearly 900 strikes were conducted within the first 12 hours. The primary objective was the decapitation of the Iranian leadership. In the opening wave, Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei was killed in Tehran, along with numerous senior IRGC commanders. While the Pentagon described the strikes as laser-focused, the scale of the bombardment led to significant collateral damage, including a tragic strike on a school near Bandar Abbas that killed approximately 170 civilians. Within 24 hours, the Iranian command structure was shattered, and the world watched as a new era of regime change from the skies began. Horizontal escalation. Iran's retaliation. Despite the loss of its supreme leader, the Iranian military apparatus, now under the nominal leadership of Mojtaba Khamenei, enacted a strategy of horizontal escalation. Unable to match the U.S. in conventional air power, Tehran sought to make the war too expensive for the West to sustain. Regional strikes. Iran launched Honest Promise 4, a barrage of hundreds of ballistic missiles and drones targeting U.S. military installations in Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, and Iraq. Targeting Israel. Most recently, on March 21st, Iranian missiles successfully penetrated air defenses to strike the towns of Arad and Dimona, wounding over 100 people and signaling that Iran's strategic depth remained a threat. The energy weapon. In its most globally impactful move, Iran effectively closed the Strait of Hormuz. By mining the waters and targeting tankers, Iran halted 20% of the world's oil flow, triggering immediate fuel rationing across Asia and Europe. Current status. The stalemate of March 2026. As of late March 2026, the war has settled into a brutal rhythm of strikes and counterstrikes. The U.S. Department of War reports that Iranian missile launch capabilities have been degraded by 90%, and the Iranian Navy has been virtually erased, with over 130 vessels sunk. However, the conflict remains far from over. Metric current estimates. As of March 22, 2026, Iranian military casualties 6,000 plus killed, U.S. military casualties 13 killed, 230 plus wounded, Israeli civilian casualties 20 plus killed, 4,000 plus wounded. Economic impact. Oil prices at record highs. Strait of Hormuz remains closed. The human and political cost. The war has created a humanitarian crisis of immense proportions. Inside Iran, the death of Ali Khamenei and the pragmatic official Ali Larijani, killed on March 17, has left a power vacuum. While the Assembly of Experts appointed Mojtaba Khamenei as the new supreme leader, the regime's control over its borders is fraying, with Kurdish Iranian regions seeing a renewed surge in separatist conflict. In the United States, the war has become a defining issue for the upcoming 2026 midterm elections. While the administration points to the destruction of Iran's nuclear program as a historic victory, many voters express fatigue over the rising cost of fuel and the possibility of boots on the ground, a move President Trump has recently deliberated, but not yet authorized. Conclusion: the 2026 Iran-US war has achieved its immediate tactical goal of dismantling Iran's nuclear and naval infrastructure. However, the strategic endgame remains elusive. With the Strait of Hormuz still blocked and a new, more radical leadership emerging in Tehran, the region stands at a crossroads between a forced peace and a decade-long conflagration. Would you like me to analyze the specific economic impact on global markets, or perhaps provide a timeline of the 12-day war that served as a prelude to this conflict?